they want to talk about. I want to talk about the Bulls. We um, we are a hot mess right now. It's just going to be what it is. The Bulls are a hot mess right now. I mean, if you love the Bears and could care less about the Bulls, you're happier probably. Even though your team didn't make, even though the Bears didn't make the postseason, you're happier probably than you are if you're a hardcore Bulls fan and that's all you are. I was looking at a recent mock draft because at this point you have to understand the Bulls are more than likely not going to the postseason, even though they are not too far out of the race in the horrible Eastern Conference. But they're probably not. They're in a really one of those really bad situations where they're not horrible enough to be in a position to get some of the most balls in the machine to get one of those top guys unless they get some Derrick Rose like luck and come up getting higher than they're supposed to. So one of the recent mocks had the Bulls selecting Auburn. I'll call him a star. Isaac Okoro from Auburn. I have gotten a chance to look at some things with him. Isaac Okoro. I'm sorry, it's not Okoro, it's Okoro. 6'6", 215 pounds. Um, I'm gonna tell you. I really I'm not saying, I'm really not telling you that Isaac Okoro is trash. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think I've seen enough of him to say that. I think he's just in his freshman year at Auburn. He's played well. Auburn is a really strong program. You can really tell if you watch him um, that athletically he is talented. You can tell that if you watch him, he plays hard. I think that's why he is getting some Jimmy Butler comparisons, which we know that the Bulls franchise values that kind of an athlete and that type of a personality to an athletic personality, not off the court personality, and not some of the things that I kind of don't like about Jimmy. Uh, Everybody, if you know me, everybody knows Jimmy's kind of like consider him a little bit of a jerkish kind of a presence. Not saying he's not a good player. Not saying he's not a borderline great player. But yeah, Jimmy is not the guy I'd pick to be in my locker room, right? That's just me. Um, but again, I'm going to go back to what I said talking about the Bears. I'm tired of the Bulls being in a situation where they're picking 8th through 14. And you already know that the chances of you getting a absolute needle mover is slim to none. You already know that. What's going on, Brian 2X and Rashad Washington? He said Jimmy keeps it real. Jimmy does keep it real, but a lot of times Jimmy keeps it wrong too. I don't know. I don't like that eat you up from the inside out type of a presence. I just don't dig that whole kind of approach. It just kind of gets on my nerves after a while. But you know, it is what it is. Here's the thing: if and when Jimmy ever wins a championship, behaving that way, then everybody will have to be quiet. But because he hasn't really won anything, hasn't really been anywhere, I don't think he's had anything yet to validate his approach. So that's kind of my thing with Jimmy. So I understand that Isaac Okoro has similar athletic qualities. Unfortunately, he also has some of Jimmy's similar struggles coming out of school. Now, in terms of his game, you know, when Jimmy came out, Jimmy was not a dependable outside shooter. He clearly became that. You know, later in his career. Right now, he's a good shooter. Isaac Okoro is only 19 years old, so the end all be all is not you. We don't know what it is yet, but right now he's a 27% 3-point shooter in college, averaging 13 points a game, just under 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. The guy defends. If you watch him, even if you don't get a chance to watch, you know, full games, there are some full games out there if you look at YouTube. But even if you just look at him, it's easy to see. He's athletic. He's strong. His arms are longer than Jimmy's, though, because Jimmy's kind of got that short arm thing. But the kid is an athlete, and there is probably some upside there. And it's also probably some upside there because he plays with great effort. Um, I still don't think that he is that guy who changes things. And the Bulls need that.
Pocket, I'll be weak. I'm rather unique.